Hey everyone, did AI just take over EQing? We're going to find out today. We're checking out Waves Curves AQ. Hi, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tim. I'm a recording and mixing engineer, and I just want to make things easier for you. Today, we're going to go over the brand new plugin from Waves. This is the latest in their Curves lineup of plugins, and this is AQ. It takes some of the processes that we've seen in other Curves style plugins that we've seen from Waves, and especially some of their restoration and cleanup style plugins. But now we're going a little bit further. Now we're taking on just regular EQ. Does it make EQing easier and better, or is it just taking blind guesses, making things louder? Let's find out together. Let's dive into the DAW. So here we are inside of our session, and as we usually do inside these videos, we're going to go over the controls first. But if you want to jump ahead to the audio examples, use the chapters down below. So here we are. This is Curves AQ in its default setup and style. You can see that there's really not a lot going on, but there's a few things that we can kind of go over very quickly before we actually do this. So you'll see right in the top middle, you have the option of selecting between instrument or mix, because you can use this plugin on mix buses or sub buses or on individual sources. And this section here where it says adaptive is all of the different styles of sources that you can run through here, and like the baseline presets to start off with, so that AQ can recognize the source material coming in. You can go ahead and assign that yourself if you want, but if you leave it on adaptive and use the learn function, it will listen to the source material as it's playing and take a guess. It's pretty good at figuring out what instrument you have going on, but you can always refine if you need to. Also, if you switch over to mix bus, it gives you an idea of the different styles that the mix bus can kind of interpret. Like we said before, underneath that is the learn. This is the actual button to get the AI doing its thing, the analyzer. Let's not call it AI, the analyzer to do its thing. Now on bottom, you'll see that there's some controls down here, but we don't have everything available to us yet because we have no source material. So that will change in a moment, and we'll open up the advanced controls because they're underneath here as well. Without seeing them in action, I can tell you that this bottom section is really kind of like a global controls area, where the blue is the amount of reduction that this EQ or AQ can do to your signal. So this is the global overall amount, saying like if it's at 100, yes, whatever you determine is the negative amount of EQ to apply, you're allowed to apply all of that reduction. If I reduce this down, then only 50% of the guessed reduction will happen. Same thing for the red side. This is the additive side. So again, 100%. If you feel like you need to add 30 dB of whatever, yeah, you can go 30 dB. But if I reduce this down to 50, it's only going to go to 15. Hey, math. The control in the center actually does some things as well. This is another kind of global application where, you know, the more you push in, the more of the effect it's going to have. So you can kind of blend this in to have it be not as present or not as automatically EQ'd or really automatically EQ'd. On the left-hand side, you'll see that with AQ, you'll be able to switch between your standard kind of static EQ and blend between that static EQ and dynamic EQ, where it will take that source material and only apply the changes as there's maybe an excess of frequencies in there, or in that rate, in that area, that region, or if it needs like an extra bit of push during different parts. You'll see that in the audio examples. Then on the right hand side, we do have a tilt EQ, and it's exactly what you think, where if we need to make it brighter or darker, we can adjust that here. We actually can't do it right now because we have no source material, but you can also offset where the center of that tilt is, and that's what the center control is right here. Oh, I was wrong. I'm using my mouse wheel to adjust my tilt, and it's your standard tilt style EQ. You're not really seeing anything happen right now because, again, no source material. We'll change that in just a moment. Bypass control up on the top left, show the grid if you need to see it. It's a little dark, that's fine. Then for some of the advanced controls on bottom, attack and release, just like you would kind of see on any kind of dynamic processor, because this is a dynamic EQ, or it has dynamic EQ available. That's how you can adjust your attack and release times for those. Precision, well, thankfully the helper popped up, adjusts process accuracy and selectivity. Cool, there we go. Auto makeup, if it's doing a lot of reduction, it'll kind of help boost the output gain. if needed. Again, also, if it's adding a lot, it'll bring that back down, and turning the built-in limiter on or off, and a built-in mix control if you want to do some parallel processing. There's also a little phase flip down here, and there's a little lock on the mix. That's pretty much everything. And the only other control we didn't go over is this kind of globe up on top here. This is how you show or hide the instrument or mix bus section, the learn, and what will be the target EQ curves that we're about to get into. So now let's take a look at this thing in action. Right now I have it on my lead vocal, but I want to do something a little crazy, and I'm going to do a little bit of prep work, and you'll see a quick jump. Okay, so now we're ready for our audio examples. We need a starting point. You guys need to know where we're starting with this mix. This song is called Prodigal. I found it on the Multitrack website. You can also do this along at home if you care to. I did just a pan and volume balance mix. There's nothing else going on. There's a little bit of reverb. I'm testing out this free reverb as well. There's really not a lot going on. Here is our starting point. So you can see, really stripped back, not a lot going on. That is our starting balance. This is where I thought everything kind of sat and you could hear everything. Nothing really kind of took over anything else. But there is some just kind of general darkness over this entire track. But now let's go even crazier, and I'm going to do another thing of prep. I'm going to put all of my different channels, because you can see I have Curves AQ on every channel. I just don't have it on this bus, and that's fine. I don't have it on my guitar bus, and I don't have it on my drum bus. But I have it on all of my individual sources, and I even have it in bypass on the mix bus, and we'll do that one later. That's a little bit of a slightly different process, but it's really not. So let me go ahead and activate all of these into the learn style. I'm going to hit play, and this will do its thing. It'll assess all of these tracks and figure out what it needs to do. I'll see you guys in a second. All right, so I fast forward that stuff for you guys, but here's what I did. I went on to each individual track, activated Curves AQ, played a couple seconds of audio, and let the analyzer do its thing to figure out all of my sources. Now, if I come back over here, this is my kick drum. It has recognized this as a kick, and it has suggested some EQ curves and has automatically applied the first one so that we can test it. If I just start going through, you can see snare top, overheads, bass guitar. Jumping over, we have electric guitar, and there's a few of these, and it kind of grabbed all of them as electric. This one in particular is an overdriven guitar. Here's another electric guitar, female vocals, and you can see going through, this is accurately grabbing the things. This track in particular that I'm on right now, I had to go and change it from what it recognized. It recognized it as noise. Clearly it's not, it's a vocal. So I just went in and made a quick adjustment to female vocal. And then on our last one, you can see here we are, we're back to adaptive. So let's get a quick before and after. The only thing I'm going to do is turn on my little doubler. That's the only effect that I have going on, and it's on my backing vocals just to spread them a little wider. Here is what Curves AQ did on its own before, then after. So clearly we can see we have a very drastic difference. Earlier we were saying that this song is relatively dark. Now it's really, really bright. All of our sources have been brightened up. It's almost getting to be too bright, But now we can go over to our mix bus, and let's watch this one happen in real time. I'm going to turn this to mix. I'm going to set this to on, and I am going to hit learn. We're going to hit play and do this in real time. Okay, so there it was. It analyzed it in about 20 seconds or so, maybe a little bit less than that. And on our mix bus, it has recognized this to be sort of an indie style song. But we also have a curve for an alternative style if we want rock or if we want folk. This is how AQ has analyzed this song in its current iteration and mix and the styles that it thinks it wants. So let's go ahead and hit play one more time, and then I'm just going to click through these different suggested EQ settings. But now you can see we've gone through anything red is additive and anything blue is subtractive. Our global settings are all down here. We can do our tilt, and then offset we'll get to in a few minutes as well because we'll mess around with tilt. But let's just click through the different target curves, that's what these are up here, and hear how it sounds across our mix bus. So very quickly, you know what? Honestly, I went with folk. I think folk just added a little bit of maybe some of that warmth back in and reduced a little bit of that harshness. And then I even went into just the overall control and brought it down a little. Right at the end, you may have heard me throw it into bypass to hear the before and after, but I'll do that again right now for you guys. And one more time as a very big before and after, I'm going to turn off all of my plugins. So we're going to go all the way back. You'll still hear the reverb, but no AQ versus AQ on its first suggested curve or target frequencies for every single one of my sources. Let's start with our before. So pretty drastic. Definitely brings a lot of things forward, brings a lot of things brighter. Like maybe I like that one instead. Then I can go through each of my individuals and just find different or better target curves. We can also go in and create our own. We can just grab the control and go ahead and add it in here. I was going to go over the offset, and this just takes all of that target curve and shifts it if you want the center frequency or the fundamental. That's what F here is, the fundamental frequency of whatever the source is. You can shift all of these things around. There's a lot more controls that we really did not go over within this plugin, but it's trying to make things easier for you. It is trying to take the guesswork out of it and show you what just EQ can do, whether it be static style or completely dynamic. So there it is, that's Curves AQ from Waves. Is this the end-all be-all for EQing and intelligence style plugins? Well, I have my opinions, but I want to hear from you guys. So either let me know down in the comments or join the Discord and we can have an active discussion over there. Is this something that you're interested in? Do you want to check it out? Did you think it helped the song? Please let me know. Check out Waves Curves AQ, available right now. Use the link down in the description, and happy mixing. See you guys soon.